Hey guys, me, it's Dr. M. And I want to go over your environment. A lot of us, we understand and we realize that the people that we hang out with, we become a sum total of that. We get that. But what a lot of people don't realize is sometimes things that you see, you can't unsee. It actually becomes a part of you, it gets inside of you, it becomes part of your DNA. And so, whatever you're watching on YouTube, whatever you're looking on Snapchat, whatever you're reading in the newspaper, watching TV, all these things that you're around, when you're watching it and seeing it, you might not even believe it, and you might not even, agree with it, but because you've seen it, you can't unsee it. And what happens in this process is it becomes a part of you. And so you don't even realize it, but at a subconscious level, now because it's a part of you, you get different flavors and different colors inside how you think, how you walk, how you talk, how you react, even your actions. And so you got to be very careful on your environment and the people that you choose, the movies you watch, the music you listen to. It's really critical, and the social media that you're on, and the comments that people make. All of these things will affect you directly or indirectly. And I was at watching this discovery of these dogs, wild dogs that were out in Italy, and they were actually, these wild dogs were hunting, but the dogs that were hunting and they were killing, they were skinny. They weren't like the wolves there. The wolves were big, and they were big and strong and well fed. These dogs, when they were hunting and they were seeing their prey, as they would see them, they would come barking down and just scare the prey. And so a lot of times the prey would get away. But when the dogs actually did make the kill was it was disgusting. That they would make the kill. It was very hard on the dogs to kill the animal. They bite their feet, they bite their backs, they would do all kind of things in packs, and it was hard on those dogs. Sometimes they'd get hurt in the process of the kill, and then eventually they'd take the animal down and they'd eat it. But that wolf it was in stealth mode. It was hidden. It would be very quietly, and when it would make the attack and it would the kill, go for the jugular, it was very efficient. It was easy on the wolf, and it was easy on the animal. Now the dogs, on the other hand, they would have babies, and then they'd have other babies, and all the babies would end up, as they're hunting, they would end up acting like the adult dogs. And so they'd bark, and it was a pattern that was learned. But the wolf, as soon as the wolf was hunting, and one of the other puppy wolves would like bark or anything, that the other big wolf would just, just shut it down real quick, and it would teach it. And if they couldn't learn that, this is survival of the fittest. You're in the jungle, and so in that area, what would happen if they didn't survive? They didn't learn that behavior. There was no more wolves. It was gone out of the pack. And so the reason why I'm telling you that is that, see, there are a lot of people in your life right now. I could go on for hours about this, but we're just going to keep it real simple here. Is that there are a lot of people that they are dogs, but they think in their mind they're wolves. And yet they'll put nice pictures up of lions, and they'll act a certain way and talk a certain way, and about how to do all these different things. And in their mind, the image that you're seeing is that they're wolves, but they're really dogs. And I'll tell you how you know a characteristic, how you know if it's a dog or if it's a wolf, is that the dogs, when we're talking about this for an example, we'll just go on for just a health example. There'll be people that will tell you, what, this week they're going to go on like the vegetarian diet. And so they'll do that for a couple weeks, and then they'll quit. And then the next thing you know, it's all meat diet. Or then it's the paleo diet. Then it's the keto diet. And so they're always looking for the shiny diamond, always switching, going back and forth to different things. But there's never consistency like what a wolf would do. And so that you see that in your churches, you see that in your schools, you see that in your neighbors, you see that everywhere around you. There are a lot of people that they think that they're wolves, but they're really acting like dogs. And see, for me, I see an animal in everybody. That there's an animal inside you, and I know an animal when I see one, when I meet one. And the reality is that a lot of people don't realize it, but they're acting like they're dogs because somebody who was a dog themselves trained them to become a dog. And they don't even know that that's happening. When you watch a movie and you're relaxed and you're comfortable, a lot of times, if you're not an astute learner, there are going to be mixed messages and signals that you won't catch. But in the movie, the guys that created it will be sending you indirect message and training your brain. And you won't even realize it is sabotaging you into failure, your thinking and your thought processes, just transforming you, and you won't even know it. Look at your health. Go with the health example, right? There are a lot of doctors out there. They put out the fires. They'll tell you, hey, take this medicine. It's very important. You got to put out the fire. But the reality is that they don't even teach you, and the doctor themselves doesn't have the look the part, is that they're not teaching you what you need to do to fix the problem. They're not teaching you how to live a lifestyle. They're not teaching you the diet, your exercise, your stretching, your mobility, your thought process, your attitude, your spiritual. They're not teaching you any of that stuff. And so you're learning from somebody that doesn't have a clue, and they're teaching you what they got, and your results are a reflection of what you've been taught. And so, if you want to be like somebody that, like what I'm teaching, like in my clinic, I'm getting people to understand themselves, the potential that they have inside themselves, and the realizing that, hey, look, if your thought processes are off, if you're thinking a certain way, maybe you got a muscle imbalance, maybe you got some areas that need to be stretched, and other areas that need to be strengthened. Maybe you need to change your diet. Maybe you need to change your lifestyle. Maybe you need to change your excuse and your patterns and your behaviors. All these different things. If you start changing those, then you become not the dog, but you become the wolf that you were meant to be. And honestly, without a question, that anybody that would sit here and listen to me right now, lasting as long as you've been lasting, if that's happening to you right now, then you're not no dog, you're a wolf. The ones that were the dogs were the ones that clicked and then they unclicked. But the ones that are resonating with the same pack, that understand what I'm trying to say, that pack are the wolves. They're the ones that are the achievers. They're the ones that are the go-getters. They're the ones that will not settle until they achieve it. And you can't fail until you quit. And so, guys, if you're hearing what I'm telling you right now, look at your environment. Ask yourself the question, who have I been learning from? And is that okay? And are they getting me to another level? Because if they're not, then maybe they're just dogs disguised as wolves. There's a little Red Riding Hood. And maybe you need to learn from the alphas. Maybe you need to hang out with the alphas and where those guys are. And if you do that, if you do those kind of things, what you'll see is your mind not only start transforming. I've seen patients, I kid you not, watching a lecture, sitting in a seminar that I've done, listening to a CD, reading a book, been around the environment, before they even physically changed, you see that in their eyes, that their facial structure starts changing. Sounds a little hocus pocus, but I'm telling you, when a guy or a girl really transforms inside, something on them begins to start changing. And when you start seeing that, when they start actually changing, and then they start acting and doing the things that they need to do, there's no motivation, there's no inspiration, there's no push, there's no shove, because then they get to the point where it's an internal drive. But if you're constantly, I was telling somebody when I was coaching football, the kids, I was saying, listen, the worst place that you could be in is when somebody looks at you and they just kind of like, just smile. They don't say anything. Because at that moment, that coach, that teacher, that house, that spouse, that wife, that husband, they've just given up. They know that all you got is all you got. But if someone's in your face, if a coach is on your face, if he's sitting there telling you, and always pushing you and always challenging you and always saying, wow, you went after that basket. You should have run with that. When you went for that angle, you should have spun the ball just a little bit that way. Or you should have had this little cut. Or when you're running the football and at that right angle, you should have just stiff armed that guy right there. They're running right straight at you. You should have half manned him, faded that way and cut him on the other side. And look at all those angles and keep challenging you and pushing you, telling you to watch tapes, watch videos, do the things that you need to do, lift, train, exercise, eat right. When you start getting someone like that pushing you, always in your face, making sure you're at classes, they're the ones that care about you because they see the wolf in you and not the dog. But if they just smile and they say nothing, then at that point, they've just given up. And that's just the worst place to be in. And guys, I am telling you that, like I said before, every, cloth is cut from the same fiber. If you're hearing my voice, I'm literally sticking my hand through the internet and trying to reach you and awaken something that's already inside of you and trying to wake up the animal that's inside of you. And if you hear that, then get around people that are going to be in that environment. Because listen, if you got the wrong environment, you might not, like I said, you might disagree with it. You might not want to be around it, but every single time you're in that environment, it's going to be literally getting inside your DNA, and it will affect you at a subconscious level, affect part of the brain called the reticular activating system that will just transform your thought process, your filters on how you see the world and visualize the world, your thoughts and your ideas, and then you become a sum total of those beliefs. Get around people that will push you, that they won't always be your friend, because a friend to everybody is a friend to nobody, but that will push you, that will guide you and will not give up on you and keep pushing you again and again and again because he sees something in you. And then create a community and then share and then give to others. Like I'm asking you guys to do. You guys like this? You got something of value out of this? You got somebody, a friend or somebody that needs help? You got somebody that needs to get, just listening, needs to get in the right environment? Share this video with them. I'm the hidden gem that people don't even know about. And so guys, I'm telling you, make a difference first in your life and then keep affecting others. But you got to own what I'm saying to you. And you'll know it by the look, by how your body is, how your energy is, every part of you. When that is in alignment, great things are waiting for you. All right, guys, take care.